Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. This is the GW Panther, the GW Panther, the Tier 7 German SPG. This one's located on the west spawn of Studzianki, and it's under the command of Photobomber of FUN2. Now, he's got a 15cm howitzer mounted on top of a hull that would have become a Panther tank, but none of them were actually built. They only built the models showing Hitler exactly what they were going to be designing, or had designed but never actually built. But they never got permission to actually go ahead and build the Arty, mainly because they needed the Panther tanks. The Panther was particularly successful as a tank, but they didn't want to spare any hulls for use as an SPG. Okay, Photobomber is set up. Now, one of the really good things about this Arty is it's got a little turret at the back, which means that it's actually able to turn 26 degrees either side of the center line. His first shot gets a direct hit on a tank other than the KV2, because, yeah, the shell actually went to one side. The KV2 only suffered minor damage, only 5 hit points, but something else took the hit. Now, I think we're going to find out very shortly who that actually was, but yes, we can see it now. It was a T-28 HTC, took a direct hit on the machine gun pods, which is, of course, one of the weak spots. And now he's lost another 241 hit points. These shells are capable of 600 alpha, penetrating 39mm of armor, and the standard reload time 25.89 seconds. But I'm pretty sure Photobomber's got a much reduced reload time. In fact, we can see it 21.21, so he's knocked off 4 seconds off the reload time. Going for the VK7501. Now he changes course at the last moment to go into the riverbed. He's landed in a tier 8 game with tier 6 tanks in it, so he's middle tier. Oh, unfortunately, our SU-100 did not fare well. In fact, it was an SU-100M1. Got taken out by the VK. Oh, that was a good hit there. 181 on the T-25AT. And their VK got wiped out in return. He got taken out by a Type 64 of all things, would you believe it? Okay, so Photobomber changing position. Obviously, the more you move about, the better the angles you can get to shoot at the enemy. Does really help. And in this case, he has good reason to move about, because if you notice on the minimap, a lot of enemy tanks up in the north, and some of them are actually now attacking our defenders up there. Rounds out on the G3. Oh, directly onto the top of the turret, right next door to the cupola. That G3, well, he's not happy bunny now, because he lost 310 hit points, which is basically a high roll, non-penetrating shot. I know it shows a hole there, but yeah, he didn't pen. Okay, trying to get a shot now on the Cromwell. He's popped into that corner. Well, splash, 130. They're trying to come through the factory and around the corner at the same time. The VK2801-105 killed our Hellcat, but he got wiped out in return by the UDES. So we don't have to worry about that direction for the moment. T-832 takes a splash, but only 33 hit points he managed to pull back in time. But you can see the enemy tanks are now flooding into that side of the castle, and in fact we lost the VK-16801P. So virtually all of our forces are now down in the south of the map. And what Photobomber is doing now is making sure there's some distance between him and the enemy. He's going to have to fire on his own cap area. Now, he didn't destroy the factory right at the start of the game. Oh, the factory, the house right next door to the cap. And that's a very important thing to do on this map. Something I do quite normally at the start of every battle. And there's very good reasons, because an enemy tank can hide behind the house and he's safe from viewing from any guys that come from the north or from the south for that matter, depending on which side you go. Okay, we're aiming towards the ridge near the enemy cap. There's a number of enemy tanks in there. Oh, that was a direct hit. If he was aiming using the mini-map, he got a direct hit on somebody. One of the enemy tanks was up there, and now we've got a T-103 making for the corner. Okay, we can see the T25 AT. Can you get a shot on him? We was aiming behind him, hoping that we'd see him as he reversed back. Of course, as you know, the good aiming technique is to dial in on the spot where you know the enemy tank is going to be going through, and then get fully dialed in. The moment the enemy tank moves through that spot, you hit them, or at least you fire in advance of them going through the spot, so that the shell hits them and smacks them the moment they go through and they get a big hit. Obviously, Photobomber doesn't need to be taught that because he knows how to do it. A lot of expert players on What Arty Noobs, they're not noobs at all, they are experts, real experts. Some of them are professional Arty players in the sense that they are streamers as well. And they know very, very well how to aim and get good shots on the enemy. Some of them actually aim specifically to get the shells onto the engine decks of enemy tanks. That KV2 has seen better days, and I suspect that might have been the tank that Photobomber actually hit with a blind shot, because he's down to 86 hit points, and now Photobomber can take him out of the game, but he's not loaded yet. Now, I reckon he's still there, and it'd be worth a shot anyway. And he got him! He was there! It's always a laugh when you see that, because you think, yeah, you should have moved away. The moment you were spotted, you should have changed position, and you shouldn't have gone back to the same position again, because that's just inviting trouble. At the moment, Photobomber thinks there's an enemy tank behind that bush, and I think he's right. Yes, he is right! He's got another kill. The T25-2 goes down. He's now got 2 kills. And the enemy's trying to come down the riverbed, and we're 3 tanks behind on the enemy. But Photobomber can have a major effect upon this battle if he can take out some of these enemy tanks. We can see where one of the enemy RT is. They are right up in the corner, in the northeast corner. He got another one! This time it's the T832! 3 kills now for Photobomber. Oh, he's enjoying this. He's the lead scorer on his team. And we've now got that T103 in play. Well, he's not going to be able to wipe that guy out with one shot unless one of our teammates reduces his hit points. But he's loaded. If that T103 is tempted, but that's a much better target there, the Barask. He's popping up to take shots. Now, doing that actually means you have to break the ridge line in order to shoot, and Photobomber can hit him. Rounds out. 4 kills. Oh, I think Photobomber's enjoying this too much. The score is getting equalized, and now it's all down to Photobomber putting in some really well-placed shots. It was a big mistake of that Barass to cross that ridgeline. He just made himself a perfect target. And Photobomber's almost tempted to put a round onto the T103. He fires in for splash, and then he gets some stun. That will kind of persuade the T103 from coming around the corners, but somebody's putting rounds into him because he just suffered a hit. And in fact, it's the SMV CC56 and the T26E4 Super Pershing finishes off the enemy T103, and now they have parity. Okay, this is where it gets interesting, because Photobomber can start using his W key to move forward on the enemy and get closer to them. It not only improves your reaction time to the enemy. If they do make a move, you can actually adjust and hit them accordingly. But it also means that he's much more likely to be away from the enemy tanks if they were to make an attempt. And they've just lost their KV2 to the Udas. Now he's got better angles on the enemy. Remember that T28 HTC, the first strike he actually managed to get in the game. He was aiming towards the KV2, but he actually hit the T28 with a shot right on a weak spot. You can see the mark on the side of the vehicle. He's firing in where he thinks the T28 might be, which is a logical conclusion. And he's just spotted another enemy tank, the ARL V39. Well, that guy is being torn apart. Now it's just 2 enemy left, the M12 and the T28. And this is where it gets really good fun, because Photobomber knows where to use his W key, and he's moving forward. Some streamer, I know one streamer the other day saying it was a pity that Arty players don't know where their W key is. Yes, we do. We know exactly where it is, and of course we use it to good effect on many occasions. Arty players have been instrumental in winning the game. In fact, sometimes they win it all on their own by invading the enemy cap area unspotted by the enemy and picking up a Raider-Invader combination, which proves how deadly they were. The T-28 is up in the factory. Okay, we've got one round left. Gonna make it count. We can get it onto that T-28 HTC and stun him enough, then our teammates who are moving towards the cap area, I think they're looking for the enemy RT. The enemy RT is actually firing at the ridgeline where the UDES once was, but he's not there anymore. He's very close to that T-28. Now we want to make certain that this shell does what we want. Oh, there's the T-28. He fires the round in. Unfortunately, no joy. Doesn't hit the target. Okay, so we're on the special HE now. What can he do? Because he'll get more damage with the shots, but he needs to get the shell closer. He's not going to get any stun assist anymore, although he did get 532 in the game. Okay, he's lining up the shot for the corner. Fires onto the corner. And he does pick up some damage and some damage assist because he tracked the guy. Our Super Pershing's starting to pump the rounds in. And that's the last kill of the game. They disposed of the enemy RT. And that's a win. Here's the end of battle results. And that was a first-class tanker for Photobomber in the GW Panther. He managed to get a fighter badge for getting at least 4 kills. He got 4 exactly. He got a bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. He got 11 in that one. And he got a Confederate as well for hitting more of the enemy than anyone else on his team, despite the fact that he got 4 kills. His win rate from that one, 3,169, which is Super Unicum standard. Let's have a look at team score. Didn't get the highest damage in this game. That went to the UDES 03, got a Confederate. So he didn't get 20% of the enemy hit pool, didn't pick up the high caliber, but he got a Confederate for 2,976 hit points. Second highest damage was the T-832 on the enemy team, and of course, yes, Photobomber took him out. He had 2,770 hit points, and in third place was the Super Pershing with 2,069. Photobomber came in fourth place on damage with 1,998, and of course, he got the Confederate. When it came to kills, though, he shares the second spot because the top scorer was the Barask on the enemy team, and yet another tank that was taken out by Photobomber. 4 kills went to the Super Pershing and to Photobomber himself, and 3 kills went to the UDES 03. And when it came to base XP, it was Photobomber who did the best in this one. 979, just 2 base experience points beat the Super Pershing with 977, and in third place, the UDES got 917. 18 shots fired in the game, 9 direct hits on the enemy, and none of them penetrated. Absolutely none, which is surprising, isn't it? He also got 17 splash, damage of 1,998, all of it at more than 300 meters. Damaged 10 of the enemy, killed 4, and did 266 hit points of damage assistance and 532 hit points of stun assist off 12 stuns. So I think that's the reason he didn't get the ace tanker. It just wasn't enough stun assist in the game, and he did run out of the HE shells. So obviously that might be the reason why he needed more HE, more stun to actually get the stun assist out of it. But he did actually get some lovely shots, especially the blind shots that actually killed enemy tanks, such as the KV-2. And, of course, that first blind shot, which actually hit the T-28 HTC instead of the KV-2. Well, it must have been a bit of a shock for the KV-2, saying all of a sudden he's driving along, and then the tank next door to him gets hit instead of him. That's happened so many occasions. I remember once myself firing at an enemy tank that was right in front of me, or some distance away, actually. It was on a map that's no longer in the game. But actually, the shell seemed to veer to the left, and it hit a Hetzer smack on. The Hetzer blew up at that point, which was the guy who was sitting next to the Hetzer must have thought, "Oh my gum, I need to buy a lottery ticket." Anyway, enough of that. He actually did make a profit from the game, but it was only 21 credits on a premium account. And he did take away 6,609 experience points because he got a mission completion reward in there as well. But that was a really good game, actually. They were behind, a long way behind, but he got 3 blind kills in the game, 3 blind mice. And he was instrumental in helping a number of the other kills in the game as well, because without his support, his teammates would have found it difficult to actually damage and get those enemies, but he actually tracked them just at the right moment, or did damage. And of course that VK kill as well, that was quite an unusual one, fired between the houses, and was not the VK kill, sorry, which one am I saying? Not the KV2, the T25-2, yes, because he fired at the gap, and yes, the T25 was there, and he took the hit and died. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that replay. If you did, please give this video a like, do subscribe to our channel, leave a little comment down below because it feeds the algorithm and gets the channel noticed by more people so they can see your videos, and thank you for watching.